was going to give you a 40 to 80 mile an hour pull, but the traffic is terrible here. Asshole. Well, I've had the Resonator delete for about a year now, and I've decided it needs to go back on. It's just too loud. Cruising the freeway from eastern Washington to western Washington, back and forth all the time. It really gets on your nerves. I'm cruising at about 70 miles an hour right now. There's a decent amount of drone. It's to the point where you can't really hear the bass in any of the music you're listening to. I even have a subwoofer in it. It's really hard to hear. So I'm going westbound I-90 right now from Moses Lake. We're going to be going up the grade pretty soon, and you'll be able to hear how loud it gets going uphill, cruising at 70 miles an hour. Yeah, like I said, just cruising 70 right now. It's not too bad, but if you're going uphill at 70 or cruising 75, 80, really pretty loud. I'm not going to say it was a waste of money or time to do the Resonator delete. It was fun for a while. You know, if you're looking to turn some heads, it definitely gets kind of loud. But from a practicality standpoint, it's just a little bit obnoxious on the highway. So if you're doing a lot of highway driving, I wouldn't recommend it. If it's just around town, you know, go ahead and give it a shot. Some shops will do it for like 50 bucks. So, okay, we're going uphill a little bit right now, 70 miles an hour. You can definitely start to hear that drone a little bit more. If I'm driving like 3 hours and I get out of the car, my ears ring a little bit. I do want to point out that I have a 3-inch catless downpipe before the Resonator delete, so those two in combination definitely make it louder. I noticed a big increase in sound when I got the downpipe installed. I'm not sure exactly how it would sound if you just remove the Resonator on the stock downpipe. It'll probably be a little bit quieter, but the combination of the two I think is too loud. Now we're going downhill. You can tell it's like totally quiet now. There's a big debate on whether or not having your Resonator, is it Resonator or Resonator? I'm gonna stick with Resonator. When you have the Resonator delete, if you have any kind of performance boost. For me, I felt like I did, but it could be placebo because you have all that extra sound. It sounds a lot more beastly, but hard to say if there really is much of a performance increase. I would wager not so much. So if you're gonna get one, just keep that in mind. It's not really a performance modification, it's more of a sound maker. Another reason why I was initially kind of against it, the only reason I did it is because it was so cheap, might as well try it out. And now that I don't want it anymore, I can just throw the Resonator back on. Okay, we're crossing the bridge here on I-90. I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick pull so you can see what it sounds like with the Resonator delete. So that's a 60 mile an hour to 90 mile an hour pull. Okay, now we're coming up out of Vantage up to Ellensburg, and you can see it's a little bit louder going uphill, 70 miles an hour. This is what really gets to you on a long drive. I'll go ahead and step it up to 80 miles an hour because it gets quite a bit louder. Okay, we're at 80 now. Pretty loud. So that's what you get without the Resonator. I'll go ahead and get some footage when we get that put back on. Alright, now we're cruising at 70 with the Resonator on. It's just way quieter than it used to be. Well, I'm on my way to the muffler shop. Something else I wanted to bring up is another reason why I don't like the Resonator delete is the fact that it feels like your car is working harder for the same amount of power. Just for instance, when you step on it, you get a lot more noise feedback, and it just sounds like your car is grinding away to get up to speed. When you have the Resonator, it's not as loud, so I don't know what I'm trying to say. Well, this is what the Resonator looks like. It's about 8 pounds, so it's hard to tell, but there's a little bit of baffling in there. Okay, so I've had the Resonator back on for about 2 months now. So I've really had some time to get used to it again. When I first put it back on, it was way quieter. I have to say, I really like having a Resonator on my car. In all honesty, the car feels faster. I think I talked about this before, but having all that extra sound whenever you're on the throttle, no matter how fast you're going, it makes it feel like the car is working harder to get up to the same speed. And with the Resonator back on, you don't get that. It just feels quicker. I don't know how else to put it. Overall, I'm glad I made the switch back. I was driving with the Resonator Delete for probably about a year, I want to say. It was fun, but it's just really loud. And I think most people will feel the same way after driving with that for a while. So I think I'm gonna stick with the setup I have now. Just a 3-inch catless downpipe with the stock cat back. I think it sounds great. I've also noticed that I'm hearing more of the engine sound with the Resonator back on. So more of the intake and the turbo spooling, the diverter valve, stuff like that. Not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, just an observation. I think one of the biggest forum topics that comes up frequently is, hey, should I do a Resonator Delete? Or what do you think of a straight pipe setup? People that are not sure that they're gonna like the additional sound. And I think my final opinion on it is, don't do it. It's a cheap mod, but it's one of those things that I think eventually you're just going to want to put back. So really, up to you. But my personal opinion is I like being able to drive around town and not always turn heads at 2,000 RPM. Per hour roll. So I've had the Resonator back on for about a year now. I think it puts out a great sound without drawing too much attention. Can't say I want to go back to having it off. Don't get me wrong, I think the car sounds great with the Resonator off from outside the vehicle, but as the driver, you don't want to be hearing that drone all the time.